So, good evening, everyone. My name is Patty McGowan, and I'm interning with the State Department's Foreign Service Institute. Before I dive into what I've accomplished, though, let me first give you a brief overview of where I am and what my office does. Slide. I'm working at the Overseas Briefing Center, which is located within the U.S. Department of State Bureau of Management Foreign Service Institute Transition Center, or DOFM, FSI, PC, OBC for short. Did the next slide change? Okay, thank you. The U.S. Department of State shapes and sustains U.S. foreign policy, and the Foreign Service Institute is an institution that trains foreign service men and women in professional area studies, language skills, information technology, leadership and management, and transitioning overseas. The Transition Center helps foreign service personnel and their families transition to their posts abroad and to understand the realities of living and working internationally. Slide. The Overseas Briefing Center, or OBC for short, is the center of all of its resources. Our collection includes specific living and working information of any of America's 276 international posts and 35 domestic posts. So this could be anything from cultural information, moving logistics, school information for your kids, partner employment, legal matters, and even resiliency in foreign service life. Many years ago, the State Department realized that the OBC's collection is also critical to other U.S. agencies that have employees move, live, and work abroad. So while the OBC mainly serves State Department employees, we also serve the Department of Defense, USAID, and Homeland Security from time to time. OBC is freely accessible to all state employees, but all others must request access. Slide. By now, we all know that the government collects so much information. Other than the high volume of information I was working with, I came across some other unexpected challenges. I stepped in at the beginning of director and staff changes, in a resource center lacking trained information professionals, and unfortunately faced an unwelcoming attitude toward libraries and librarians. I had to come up with innovative ideas in a conservative, intensely bureaucratic, and incredibly traditional and slow-moving system. And lastly, whatever I came up with, I had to ensure it would remain ongoing in some sense. The fact that I'm only here for 10 weeks severely limits the number of projects I can take on. Slide. Nevertheless, here's what I've done so far. In the past 2 months, I have been a key member in supporting an OBC digitization project, providing input, direction, and best practices to the division director. My research has helped the director immensely with his responses to a fully digital initiative spearheaded by the front office. I've centralized the culture collection. I moved over 500 culture guidebooks into one area and updated their MARC records. I've supported publication of online and print collection of more than 4,000 overseas post documents. These documents are written by foreign service employees and their families about their post experiences and are integral to current students. I've also generated subject and keyword terms for 180 of the OBC's reference materials. My office is the OBC. I assist each patron with their info needs at one of 2 combined reference circulation desks. I answer the main line to the OBC, direct calls, and respond to email inquiries. It was definitely uneasy to walk into an uninvited space, but I use this as a way to strengthen my instruction and communication skills. I've written thorough reports of my methods and reasons for all of my work, and briefed the staff on areas like cataloging, taxonomy, and search techniques. Once the staff was able to recognize the importance of it all, we were able to move toward a more organized, sustainable, efficient, and flexible OBC. Slide. Aside from my work duties, I've also had the chance to connect with different employers and various types of work. The Curriculum and Staff Development Office at FSI needs someone to develop their video library and organize their curriculum information. I've met with PubMed at the National Library of Medicine. I've connected with the Public Affairs Office at USDA Food Safety and Inspection Services. I've met with the Society for International Development, Washington, D.C. branch. And next week, I'm even having lunch with a GSLIS alum who's heading up a new digital library federation in Washington, D.C. You're a hot commodity now, Patty, is a phrase I've been hearing a lot throughout my job search. There's a huge need for our skills, and they exist within the many layers of both the government and private sectors. Law firms, media industries, businesses big and small, universities, historical societies, NGOs. These are just a handful of the endless possibilities in D.C. As information professionals, we do not just belong in the Library of Congress, National Archives, or the Smithsonian. LIS is a versatile degree. It can take one many places. Here at GSLIS, we are all products of the top-ranked LIS program in the nation, and we are all hot commodities. Thank you.